Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Secrets of Handshake. My name is Rebecca Wright, and I'm the internship manager in career development. And I'm going to introduce the rest of us. Mary Ellen.
Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Schroeder. I'm the Director of Career Development. Meg?
And I'm Meg Adderman, the Student Outreach Manager and Twinehand Illustration Alumni.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to sharing the slides that we have for you. One sec. Okay, so give me one second. Okay, so today we're talking about the secrets of Handshake. What we're going to talk about is how to get the most out of Handshake, how Handshake differs from other sites, how to customize your search, set up search alerts, how to read a job description, some common terminology you might see when you're looking at job postings, career and professional events, and then how to make a career advising appointment with us. Okay, so we're going to start with customizing your search, and we're going to go through slides first, and then we're going to do a demo at the end. So I just want to give you a frame of reference about what Handshake is. So Handshake is a platform that is used by different colleges, and how it differs for employers is they're not just posting at one school. When they go to post a job, they're posting at many schools, and so it's very easy for employers. It's different than a place like Indeed or LinkedIn because it's specialized. Employers are posting at schools with the skill sets that they are specifically looking for. So just thinking like a recruiter, you definitely want to know that if a recruiter is looking for art and design talent, you want to be looking in a place where they're going to be posting those jobs, and that would be Handshake. That's why they're using Handshake to recruit. Handshake is open to both MassArt students, but also alumni, so this is something you have access to as an alum. So it's not just something where you're going to look for student jobs or internships. Just for example, in the past academic year, there were 2010 art and design jobs that were posted on a Handshake. So that's just something to typically expect. So you definitely want to kind of have this in your toolbox of places to look for opportunities. There were also in the past year 307 internships that were posted that would be open to a new graduate. So that's just helpful to know that that's the sort of stuff that you're going to be seeing on Handshake as an alum. The opportunities on Handshake may be posted on other sites, but again, recruiters are specifically targeting colleges like MassArt that is a specialized school, the skill sets that you have. So you definitely want to be looking here. Next step. So when you go into Handshake and you start looking for jobs, you want to customize your search. You probably get some emails that kind of match up with some possible jobs you're interested in. But when it comes to looking for an opportunity, you definitely want to be proactive and go into the site and start using filters to kind of find specifically what you're looking for, whether that's full-time, part-time jobs, what location you're interested in working in, and then use keywords to help narrow it down into kind of your area of focus. And that can be keywords that focus on the skills that you have, the software you know about. And then another tip with Handshake is that if you are looking for remote opportunities, remote itself can be used as a keyword to find some remote opportunities. So then other things you can do on Handshake is once you find a couple searches and filters that you like, you can bookmark that search and get emailed alerts whenever new jobs are posted that fit your criteria. If you find jobs or employers that you like, you can also bookmark those to save them for later. And then a very important part of this, of making the technology work for you, is you want to make sure that when you do get emails, when new opportunities are posted, that you read them and you act quickly. job postings tend to be time sensitive. Even if they say, oh, it expires in a month, you want to apply sooner because employers will be hiring when they see the type of candidates they're interested in. They don't necessarily wait until that deadline to hire and respond to all the applications. So a little bit about reading a job description. And you probably have done a search and found some of these things. When you're reading a job description, you want to read past the title. Some of the things that we're seeing on job postings is that the title isn't necessarily representative of the job that it involves. So, for example, some titles might say graphic design or marketing, but if you read the description, you might see that they have kind of general visual communication skills. It might straddle majors. It may not just be graphic design, might have some film, video, some photography, illustration, and it may not be hardcore graphic design. So you want to read the description a little bit, especially if you're using a keyword like illustration or photography and you're getting a posting that says graphic design, read it, because it might be graphic design light and be more of a visual communication job that straddles a couple different majors. You also want to look at different industries that you're curious about, and sometimes just reading different job descriptions might kind of, enlighten you on what types of opportunities there are out there. You are not going to know everything right away. So I recommend just reading many descriptions to kind of find things that you're curious about and get some information. Something to know is that when it comes to your experience level, it kind of breaks down a little bit like this. So 0 to 3 years is entry level. That's roughly where you're at now with your the internships you may have done so far and your education. 4 to 7 is usually mid-level, and then 8+ years of experience is more of an advanced posting. Because Handshake is open to alumni of all years, we post all of these levels of jobs, so it's just good to have an idea of what will be on the website. Another thing to be aware of is job role versus industry. And an example that I can give you is the company Fidelity. So they often hire designers and they have an entire design department. So that is the job role is design, but the industry is financial services. So sometimes you might see a company with an industry that isn't art related at all, but they may very well have an art department and be hiring actively for artists and designers. So kind of think about it that way. You might be targeting a company that is in a more art or design industry, but you also can look at other industries as well because they will have creative roles that they hire for. So another thing to be aware of, and this might be new to you and some of it you might have seen a little bit, is there's a lot of kind of common terms in job listings that are not always clear. So for example, NEG means negotiable, or DOE, sometimes you'll see this like salary DOE, it means depending on experience. So they are going to adjust the pay rate depending on how much experience the candidate has. K usually means 1,000 in terms of a salary. So some other things like CL is cover letter, CV is curriculum vitae. A curriculum vitae is usually a type of resume that's a little more academic. HR stands for human resources. FT and PT, usually full-time, part-time. One thing to be aware of, there are some positions that might be labeled temp or contract. This is usually a non-permanent job, but it might be full-time or based on a project for a short term. And then OPT, CPT applies to international students. And then benefits, of course, you might know, is usually health insurance, retirement, but sometimes even dog-friendly employers, gym membership included, things like that. So next, I'm going to do a demo of Handshake. So let me pull that up. Give me 1 second. So in Handshake, so like I said, when you're using Handshake, you want to use it as a tool to kind of work for you and find things for your job search. So when you first log in, if you're looking for jobs, you're going to go to the job section. And you want to look up at this top area. There's an area to do like a keyword search. There's location, full-time, internship, part-time. But there's also this button here, and this actually opens up even more filters. So you'll see kind of more opportunities. Most of what you might be looking for is full-time, part-time opportunities, but you can open that up and look at other things. We don't post the volunteer opportunities. So you're probably going to be looking more on the professional sort of jobs, maybe internships. There's some other things you can search here. You can search by employers, by majors, and other things as well. So just be aware that there are other filters. Another thing you want to keep in mind is you want to use filters, but you also don't want to filter it so much that you have very few opportunities. So it's good to still keep it somewhat general. So I'm going to do a location search, and I'm going to put, it might default to Boston, but one thing to know about Handshake is that there are postings from all across the country. So, you know, if you are looking in different areas, there may very well be stuff there. So I'm going to do Los Angeles. And you can do the distance. You can say 50 miles, you can say 10 miles. It's up to you. And I'm going to start with animation. So with the keyword search, you can put in animation, which might have been your major, but also think about what skills you might be using. So that could be software, that could be After Effects, it could be Maya, it could be anything that you know, feel like you want to keep using in a job or a future opportunity. So play around with different keywords. So you're going to see things kind of filter down, and you'll start seeing things that are more located in California. Like I mentioned before, you can save your search. And what this will do is that every time a new posting comes in that says animation and within 50 miles of Los Angeles, you're going to get an email alert. And that can be really helpful because there's new postings being put on Handshake on a regular basis. So this list of opportunities are going to change regularly. So, so I set up a search notification. The next step would be looking at a posting. So you're going to see the application deadline, when it was posted, so you kind of know how old it is, kind of the description, contact information, and it's going to give you some kind of matchup on how you fit their qualifications. One thing to note about the application deadline is they may have put the deadline as July 12th, but you don't want to wait until July 11th to apply for this job. It's been on the site since April 19th. So that means, you know, they've been receiving applications for, you know, well over a month now. So you don't really want to wait until the last minute to apply. You want to apply as soon as possible, just because employers will often hire as soon as they find a candidate that's a good fit. They don't wait until their application deadline to hire. The other thing that this note is that it's noting it's a seasonal role. So that means this is a temporary position for from June through August. So that's another reason why you don't want to necessarily wait until July, because it looks like this is a temporary position that will start before then. So just kind of make sure you read all the details as you're looking at a posting. So let me go back. So say you're interested in applying for this and you're not ready right now, but you're definitely going to do it this week. If you hit this tab, this bookmark, that means that you've saved that job, so you can go back to it and find it easily and submit your application. Another thing that you can do, say that you're curious about this employer. If you click on them, you're going to pull up their page and more information about them. You'll see any other opportunities they have posted, which you may want to check out. But if you follow this employer, that means that anytime Threshold Entertainment Group posts another opportunity, you're going to get an alert about that as well. And again, you want to make sure you keep track of when you get those alerts so you can respond as quickly as you can. So I'm going to go back to the home page now. And if you look at this page, you'll see jobs you've saved. That's where you're going to see your bookmarked jobs. So you can always go back to your home page and see that. I'm going to show you a few other things to know about Handshake. So another thing is that we use Handshake to share a lot of information about upcoming events. And these are professional events, career-related events. Many of them are virtual. So you definitely want to check out the events section because you can find out more opportunities about different things that might kind of help you learn more about the job search or help you kind of get more insight. So definitely check this out. Again, it still has the bookmark feature and you can still click in and RSVP for things as well.